Wake up, wake up, and stay woke. And this is the Ball Hog Sports Talk. It's your boy, B Brown, ESQ, aka the Ball Hog, aka the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And we're going to give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. So come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter and salt. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not get caught in your feelings. Strap on your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go. All right, you know what it is. It's the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration, a.k.a. I get to be in this seat as the MC that gets to ride next to and aside and along the Maverick herself, Miss Majestic Maya. What's up with you, Miss Majestic Maya?
What's up?
And then the maestro, the superhero, DJ John Quick is in the building, y'all.
What's good?
I want bombs on my intro.
Arms over back down. Yo, it's a whole bunch of beat downs in here. Y'all know what it is, man. It is the Friday after, shall I call it. There was a particular event in the United States that happened this week that had people dancing in the streets on Saturday. You know, when it finally was revealed that indeed we had some developments as to our presidential election. And we're going to get into that, man. But you know what it is. This is Ball Hog Sports Talk, where sports, business, and entertainment collide. We're going to get into politics. In one word, what were you thinking when the news was finally broken on, I think it was Saturday, that we have a 46th different president from the 45th president, the president-elect Joe Biden? In one word, before we're going to get into it heavy later on, because there's still a lot to unfold when it comes to politics. And in one word, maybe one phrase, what were you thinking? The Miss Majestic Maya, the Maverick, what were you thinking?
2 words, relief and trifecta.
Trifecta. Okay, you're going to come back to that. All right, you're going to explain that when we get into politics. All right. All right. Superhero DJ John Quick, what were you thinking? When the news was finally broken on Saturday, all of the different news outlets were really reluctant to make that announcement. They finally made it on Saturday. What were you thinking?
I knew what it was. It's just a matter of them actually announcing it. So it was, it wasn't one of those, yes, we won. I was like, no, I knew we won. So it's all good, so yeah. Here's what it is. I'm just curious to see what happens moving forward.
Oh, we're going to get into it because never have I ever, that's how you say it. Never have I ever thought that politics would be this interesting, man. It's juicy. It's like, it's a whole bunch going on. We appreciate everybody again for joining us. Like we ask every week humbly, it won't cost you anything. Please like, please comment, please share. I promise you it's going to be a whole bunch of buffoonery. As I said in the caption, we're going to rub you in all the wrong places. We're going to rub you the wrong way. For all the right reasons today, because we got some discussions to discuss.
Okay, Johnny Gill.
Did I smash Johnny Gill's lyrics? My bad. My brother, what's up? My brother Marvin Bazemore in the house, man. We appreciate the bros for supporting, man. That's why I have this hat on. My man, my coach, D. Burton, man, Ru. He gave me this hat. And I'll start off the show. Since it is the Ball Hog Sports Talk, we're going to start off with a little sports anecdote because y'all know that my East Orange Junior Jaguars, the Mighty Might level, played in the championship last week. And y'all, I'm just going to let y'all know that youth football is where all entertainment begins. So, unfortunately, we lost. We lost to the back-to-back champs. They were undefeated. We had them down. We went ahead in the second half, but we didn't close the deal, and we lost. But you would think that would be the most exciting part of this story, but it's not. After we lost, they have the champions and the runner-ups over for the award presentation. And I look over at the corner of my eye. One of the parents is snatching off the uniform of their child and walking off. And so the team mom hands me the jersey and says, such and such is leaving. And dog, you know how it is. I try to outgrow some of the physical nature of being the bros, but I couldn't outgrow it at that point. So I jogged over quickly. I was like, nah, you got to answer me. Where you going? Like, either this kid is on the team or they're not. There's 19 other kids over there crying because we didn't win. You got to come over here with the team. And then he proceeds. I said, you have a conflict? You have something to do? And the dad is like, just trying to walk away. And he finally turns around and goes, man, your son touches the ball every play. In a very emotional outburst. So I told y'all last week, man, if anybody ever try to choke me out, y'all know why I got arrested. So when he says this, I said, that's just not true. Your son, actually, I threw your son the ball a few times. I gave this person the ball. Well, I ain't talking about that person. I ain't talking about that person. I ain't talking about that person. I was like, well, we've gone through 4 people. And you said that my son is the only one that touches the ball. So, like, what's really the problem? Long story short, man, the dude tries to come back, put his son on the team again in practice like nothing ever happened, man. And I'm in a dilemma, y'all. Should I be the bigger adult? Because the kid didn't do nothing wrong. It's the adult acting like a kid, rushing the kid off the field.
Be the bigger adult.
Yeah. I want to kick him and his daddy off the team, but the kid didn't do nothing wrong, man.
No, you're right.
Look, y'all, you gotta really, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If y'all associated with youth sports, y'all gotta come get some of this entertainment. But if you one of them parents that does something as emotional and as irrational as storm away with your kid, look, man, don't be surprised when the coach is just as petty. You come back and you come back to an empty locker because that's uncalled for. Football is a team sport. We win together, we lose together. And so I give you that anecdote just to open up the conversation. What is the craziest
Wait,
thing?
hold on, Bob. No, we gotta hear the rest of the story. What happened?
I mean, he came back to the team. I let him practice. I'm still debating whether or not I want to let him play, man, to be honest with you. I wanted to put the dad in the headlock, but he rushed off. And I'm like, I said some things like, that's the most, I said some things I shouldn't have said. And I went immediately.
Hold on, bro. You cannot give us these little. You want to know details. What did you say, bro?
I said that's some punk ass shit. That's the punk ass shit I ever seen. And it is what it is, man. And other people around me was giving me high fives, like, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? And he walked off and he went into the car. But really, man, I wanted to put the pause on dog. So I ran back to the mom because the mom was still there. Mom and dad aren't together. Mom is still there waiting on the award ceremony. And I apologized to the mom. I said, your son heard me, because I don't let my kids hear me use profanity. Yeah. I said, your son heard me say some things that he otherwise would not have heard coach say. But it's because blank, yada, yada, yada. You're not even her husband, because they're not together. I was like, his dad has to make a decision. Either he's going to be on the team or not, but he can't just, this ain't Burger King. You can't have it your way. When things are going well, you know what I'm saying? You in the midst of it, right? When things go awry and we lose and we lost to a better team, be clear. And we played well, but we lost to a better team. Back-to-back undefeated champs. And we are the Cinderella team. We had the Bad News Bears at the beginning of the season. And credit goes to all the coaches. I see one of them on here. What's up, Ellis? My dog from business school at Yale is also one of my assistant coaches.
Hey, Ellis, what's up?
Yeah. He drives all the way from Hoboken, Jersey City area to East Orange. So all the credit goes to my coaches. And the kids have done a great job. But you don't get to, at that moment.
Yeah, that's whack, bro.
Decide that you're going to go get in the car.
Yeah.
And I think it just goes to the real essence of the story is a lot of these dads, again, I've said this before, are living vicariously through their kids. They had never been in a real team atmosphere and learn the concepts of we win together and we lose together. Mm-hmm. And so, I was upset because I ran over there. I missed the whole trophy presentation. They calling for the head coach. I'm not there because I'm getting some straightening. I got to get some straightening right there.
Yeah. No doubt. No.
And it's the one thing I wish I could outgrow, man. But these youth sports, I don't know if y'all got some crazy stories. I see my man, Dr. Rashawn Adams is on here, and his son is now at St. Peter's Prep, but he went up the ranks, both at, I want to say Piscataway, not Piscataway. He played for Plainfield. I think it's Plainfield. I might be messing that up. And then at Brick City. So y'all give me some crazy stories. What has happened to you in youth sports? Please, our audience members, I know that y'all have been through some crazy things because a lot of these parents are literally living through their kids in these youth sports. So that's our opening story. I tried to be the better person. I did let the kid practice this week. P-Way, which is Malcolm Jenkins played there. I can't believe I can't think of the town, man. Y'all got too many towns in Jersey. There's 8,543,837 towns in New Jersey. So pardon me if I don't remember all the names of the towns. But that's a great.
There are a lot of P towns: Piscataway, Plainfield.
I think it's Plain. Now, what's the other one with a P?
Piscataway.
I don't think it's Piscataway.
Is it Parsippany?
Patterson.
Yeah, that
it's
too.
not Patterson. It's further south. Anyway,
Phillipsboro?
Tell me what it is, Dr. Rashawn Adams. P-Way, but Malcolm Jenkins played there. There's a whole bunch. It is Piscataway. Okay, I had it wrong. Piscataway is in the building, and they've got a great program. I see Dr. Rashawn says, I never talk to coaches, and I force my son to advocate for himself. And that's a good thing because you got to cut the umbilical cord. It's simple and plain. And I've said it now several times in text messages subsequent to the event, I will call it. But I tell the parents in text, I say, look, you got to trust us. Let us coach your kids. Because whether you believe it or not, we got so much experience, so much dedication to this game. Make sure that you let us coach your kids. So if you are a parent, and maybe your kids are too young now, but you're planning to put them into youth sports. At a certain point, let your kid be coached by the coach. Or else, if you do something like scurry off and get in the car after a loss, you could be on the wrong end of a headlock. That brother was this close, man. He was this close to one of them moves. Boy, I had inspiration from last week's show and seeing the choke out. I was this close, man. And he one of them dudes that like to show off his muscles and everything. I'm like, look, parents, I don't care how big you are. My roommate was 6'5", 255, 60 pounds. Chiseled muscle. You know who I'm talking about. I don't call no names. And don't say no name. Chiseled muscle. I'm talking about chiseled from the Outbacks, Georgetown, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? He fight cars. He fight anything. And he never took my cornbread. So your muscles do not impress me. You know what I mean? I had to live with this man and make sure I protected my cornbread. Football requires you to not be impressed by the muscles. So that man, muscle man, almost got put in a headlock. I want to hear y'all stories from our audience members. Again, please like, please comment, please share. We're starting off the show there, and it's nothing but up from here because we are still in the regional playoffs. And the East Orange mighty team, our junior Jaguars, are still in the building. Y'all watch out for us. We're going to win a regional championship.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to win the regional championship. I appreciate y'all showing me love on Sunday. Both my co-hosts, the Maestro and the Maverick, gave me a shout out. I really appreciated that, man. We weren't able to pull it off this time, but we'll be back. We shall be back. We gonna be back harder than ever, man. Come on, Junior Jaguars, as we go on this week.
Bob, all I want to say is, as someone who worked with kids for almost 20 years, sometimes you got to excuse these parents, man. They, these don't ever hold it against the kid for parents' dumbass shit, because that was just, as the brothers like to put it, that was cat. That was cat. That's all it was. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, bro. That kid needs you more than you need this cat ass daddy.
And the son is going to be a ball player. He just he has a really low football IQ. There's certain thing he doesn't have confidence because and
that's where you come in. That's where you come in. Bro. That's where you come in.
Well, boy, it took all I had, man. I'm gonna tell you, I had to pray a few times, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you, because he deserved to be choked out, but he got away with one. He lucky I'm 43 with some assets to lose, as opposed to 23 with nothing to lose. Because boy, you ain't gonna disrespect me. You ain't just gonna put some respect on my name. I'm Coach Bobby. You're gonna put some respect on my name. But yeah, man, it's such a joy. I love doing it. I do love one of these comments. It says, let me find it. Losing builds character. And that's where the show starts today, right? Because we call the show "Losing is the New Winning," and I don't put the L as a loss. The L is a lesson.
But wait, Bob, you said losing builds character, but what happens when characters lose?
Hey, when characters lose, they scurry off and run to the doggone car real quick with their son. That's what happened.
I don't have tea. I just have water today.
My man, Dr. Rashawn Adams, he's been in it a while. He said he's seen parents fight about playing time. And we posted that video last week where one of the coaches tried to choke out the other coach because he wouldn't play his son. Look, man, it is what it is. I tried to rationalize it with the other coaches because afterwards we did a sort of, a debrief. And I said, some of these parents, we got to be honest, because then another parent yelled something out to the defensive coordinator because they didn't like that the parents were yelling about the offensive line because there's 3 offensive linemen that are related. So they took it personal. So there's a whole bunch of drama, man. That's what happens when you coach in the hood. There's some good things and some bad things about being in the community. I wouldn't trade it for anything, but you gotta take on some things. But
it's not just the hood. It's not just the hood because I grew up in the hood and I grew up in the rural parts. And listen, it's about parents and their kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some of these parents think their kids are stars when indeed they are not. They have a lot to learn, and that's why you got to trust the coaches. And my thing is this: if I had a son and he's being coached by former NFL players, former D1 players, I'm like, yo, do you, bro?
Yeah,
right.
Bro, I see you on the side.
Think.
Like,
you would think.
Exactly.
Yeah, they question us all the time. But as I told
crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. But as I told one of all of the coaches, I said, with COVID and with the parents that we're coaching, honestly, man, this championship could have been the best thing that happened to them in weeks, months, maybe even years. And so maybe they took it a little too seriously. And I was all the way good with all the bickering back and forth. It's just, and I told the dad, I was like, what are you teaching your son right now? Running to the car.
Exactly.
What are you teaching your son right now?
What'd he say?
I mean, he didn't say nothing. He just went, one of those sounds. He just kept on scurrying to the car. Like, oh, I got you upset. But man, I tell you what, we definitely have their prized possession in our hands. And they act that way. So it is what it is. It comes to the territory, man. But I love my East Orange Junior Jaguars. I love my kids. I am blessed to have the coaching staff and the kids that I have, man. So I'm happy.
Wait, I have one quick question, and this may seem a little far out. I wonder if they would react the same way to white coaches. Like if they would take that same energy, because the talent in the hood is unmatched. I don't care what anyone says. You're not going to find Michael Jordan in the Burbs. You're going to find him in the Norks, the East Orange, the Oranges. You're not going to find him in Livingston. Okay. So I just wonder if they take that same energy. And then in addition to, you have to remember that, like John was saying about you guys being D1 athletes and former players, like you lived it.
Several D1 coaches on the staff.
They have to, like you said, cut the cord, but I get you keeping your composure. I applaud you because the moment someone ups that tone, I'm up in my fists. Like, don't disrespect me. Because I'm about to
he was trying to get the ball every play. No,
that's why I don't play. The only sport I play is men. I know my avenue. I know my lane. Because if we have any other issues, baby, like, no, take it down. Your son, you have to. I don't know. These parents.
You don't want this man though. Look, he's single.
For a reason. That's why his son, your player's mom ain't with him because she realized he's meow. Okay.
You don't want to take no cat bros.
No cat bros. He be in the mirror longer than you, but he showed here. I mean, anyway. Look, y'all. Losing is the new winning, and I got to give a shout out to RuPaul because that song, "Losing is the New Winning," is a RuPaul song. I didn't know that, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know that, y'all. That's a RuPaul song. Losing is the new winning. I didn't know that. So, and it's RuPaul's Drag Race Live out in Vegas. Hey, all you gotta do is search "Losing is the New Winning." That's today's episode. Losing is the new winning, and it's a reference. You got to know it's a reference to our political climate, but we're going to get some sports involved too. Losing is the new winning. Tiger Woods, y'all, at the Masters. He had a great day. Opening round, he tied his best. He shot a 68 on the opening round for the Masters, and he's at, I think, 4 under. He shot a bogey-free round of golf, and in the, I think he's, 43 now? Tiger, man. Tiger he never ceases to amaze me. I hope he can keep up this great play, and we'll see what he does in the Masters this year. Today is Friday the 13th, and crazy things happen on Friday the 13th. I hope that everybody is taking note. COVID is going crazy, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. The Washington Post said that it used to be nightclubs and concerts that was the super spreader events. Now it's, game nights, dinner parties, sleepovers, and carpools that they saying are leading to these spreading events over the country because asymptomatic people are getting in the carpool or coming to play spades or dominoes, whatever the case is. Game
Why
night.
they gotta be black events, Bobby? Spades and dominoes. Come on now.
I'm just talking about what I know. That's what I know.
Dinner parties. Those are for the others. Yeah, we play spades and dominoes.
I think of dominoes. I hear game night.
Do white folks play spades?
Hell no.
Do they?
Okay. I don't know.
I know.
Do they?
I doubt it. I've never seen anything lighter than me at playing spades.
I gotta take my hat off. Shout out to my bros, Darren Burton, man, who got me into coaching. He let me be the offense coordinator last year for East Orange Junior Jaguars. He's the one who brought me over to the East Orange Junior Jaguars. Shout out to Dog, man. Let me see this hat. This hat, I don't know if it was made for the Bruh Bowl. They had an event called the Bruh Bowl where Malcolm Shabazz in Newark plays Westside High School because both head coaches are men of Omega Psi Phi, and they donated all the proceeds to. I know one was a principal from Patterson who died due to COVID, and just a really good. Look, man, I love my Omega Psi Phi, but that event really touched me, man.
I love you guys too. I mean, just aside. I mean. Not just because of you two guys, but you really exemplify, what it's all about. Because you got, yeah. Shout out. And purple is the color of royalty.
That's right.
Yeah, man, I was very happy. I was very happy with seeing that these brothers are doing it like that, man. So yeah, shout out to these brothers, man. Very, very good situation there. All right, y'all. Look.
Wait, one thing in regards to the Friday the 13th, the last time where shit literally hit fan was March 13th, 2020. And that week, remember, it was a full moon that week. It was Friday the 13th that week. And there were a couple of other just mind-blowing events that happened that week. And that was what? So if that was March and this is November, what was that? I don't count. Well, 9 months ago? 9 months ago.
I'm bad with that, yeah.
Oh yeah, we also start counting. Right. Yeah, so just be aware because that's literally the day the earth stopped. March 13th, and that was Friday the 13th. So I'm big onto numbers. So just be aware, party people.
Yeah, man, be careful. COVID is going crazy, and we do not need to have any medical professional tell us and confirm this. We know it. It has ensnared our people at an alarming rate. So please be careful, y'all. I had another college friend, her mom just passed from COVID.
Yes.
So it's not going anywhere. So, and they're calling it COVID fatigue. And I get it. No one wants to be locked down. We ready to hit the streets. We ready to hit the clubs. Superhero DJ John Quick, the maestro, and I, we've thrown events together, right? The whole event business has been completely undermined. Right. But guess what, man? I'd rather be alive to throw an event in year +1 than to get COVID fatigue and go and do something crazy. So please, people within the sound of our voice, we love our audience. We want you here. We want you here celebrating the growth of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. Yeah. So make sure that you do not get COVID fatigue. Stay in confined areas, y'all, and leave the dinner parties and the carpools. You can put somebody in the carpool, but put that window down, make sure they got a mask on. and tell them to breathe out the door. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you're too good to do that, you better find another ride. You know what I mean?
You better get that Uber plastic.
Straight up.
Word. They don't play.
Nope. I respect that.
My coach Ellis Reed said, made a kid run a lap because he was disrupting my drills by taking. Hold on, I gotta read it here first. Hold on, sorry. You know how this is, man. The doggone
That's
technology.
You.
Made a kid run a lap because he was disrupting my drills by talking, not paying attention, and burping on purpose. Father runs a lap with him and comes back with the kid to my drill and tries to challenge me for making him run for burping. Diffused it, but bruh, look, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all come to youth football if you want entertainment, because that dad was dead serious, like he had done something wrong. And look, a lot of them have no chance, because I told you we were the Bad News Bears when we started. No chance of even playing high school football. But these parents, man, if you ask them, boy, they got the second coming. And that's just, it's funny, man. It's funny, but it's not funny. All right, look, Thursday night football last night. The Indianapolis Colts beat the Tennessee Titans, which to me was a surprise. But the Colts were playing like crazy, man. 34-17 to take over that division. And they now both are tied at 6-3. I know no one watches Thursday night football, but as a sports show, I'm obligated to say what happened. All right, so that's what I did. I met my obligation. Okay. And now we can move on. The NBA draft is coming up. And while talking about helicopter dads, the NBA draft is putting us in position to deal with a particular helicopter dad. And this helicopter dad is none other than LeVar Ball, because his son, the youngest of three, LaMelo Ball, is projected to be the #1 pick of the NBA draft. And while we laughed at LeVar, and we laughed at his antics, he now has shown us that he did something right, at least from a basketball perspective. What do y'all think about LaMelo Ball being the potential #1 pick? And let's get into LeVar Ball, man, because that's one of them dads that always has something to say to coaches, but for him it paid off. What do y'all think about it?
I can't trust anyone with teeth more yellow than the sun. And I can't. He's
not only his yellow, his are like all messed up.
And they're crooked and yellow. It's like the crooked yellow brick road, for real. It's like, damn, Dorothy about to trip, for real. Hey, look, he is one of those. It just, to me, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm an adult, maybe it's because I don't have kids, but I always assumed that the role of the parent was to put their children in positions, give them roots, ground them in knowing right from wrong, doing the right thing, and giving them wings to fly, to live, to experience different things in the world. I think that he is a detriment to his children because no one wants to deal with him. Now, from what I see, his sons are actually great human beings. Like, they're really, good, funny looking kids. That's not their fault. That's because dad,
Hold on. Hey, you were going so straight. You're like, they're really good, but funny looking.
They are. Look, one thing I'm not going to do to the listeners is lie. I do a lot of things, but I don't lie. Okay. And they have all this talent, but no one wants to deal with him. Did you see Earl Woods? Now, I was never a fan of Earl or Tiger. That whole little situation just got on my nerves. But Earl said, I'm going to let my son show you what he can do. And he went and he let Tiger be Tiger. Okay. LeVar wants the attention because I made these. Wait, I got to get yellow teeth. I got yellow paper. I made these boys. And it's just like, dude, sit back. You did your job as a father. Let them go be great. And it's like, he can't do that because it's like he is a character, a yellow snagger-tooth character. I feel that he is a detriment to his sons. I really do. Which is unfortunate.
What about you, superhero DJ John Quick, the maestro? What do you think about LeVar? LaMelo, it seems like he's been ready and destined for this moment since he was about 14. I think he scored 100 points when he was 14 in a high school game, or 15 as a freshman. So that part seems like it's been inevitable for a few years now, several years. He was going to be in the top few picks. What do you think about LeVar, though?
He's definitely a character. I mean, he's kind of annoying. He's done good by his kids in terms of the basketball situation, because 2 out of 3 kids are going to be in the league, but his oldest son already kind of divorced himself from him already, and it's just a matter of time when the youngest son does the same, because he just comes off as just a big imbecile sometimes, like
Right.
on TV, and it's like he wants the attention to be on him. He wants to be patted on the back, like, you did what you were supposed to do. You're a dad. You're supposed to lead your kid. You see talent in your kids, you're supposed to foster it. So I'm not giving you a pat on the back on something you're supposed to be doing. So he needs to just let his kids be his kids and stop trying to be the main act. Like, if you don't want your producer all up in the video, come on over to Jethro.
And that's why his kids left the brand. All right, so look.
Exactly.
Wait, I have a question.
Them shoes was horrible.
Yeah. I have a quick question. Maybe if we applauded him for attempting to brush his teeth, maybe he'd do it.
Oh, damn.
Hey, you might be onto something about.
Hey.
They could get one of those sponsorship. They could be a spokesperson.
Aaron Judge. I think he got a contract with Direct Smile or something. Because Aaron Judge. Okay, see, I called it. Look at my Facebook postings. I called it out. I'm like, homie, you over here signing contracts with Diet Pepsi. You need to fix that grill. Ta-da! Look at it.
All right, look. I waited, and now I gotta let y'all know. I believe that LeVar is the dad of the year. He should get the Father Award, because LeVar has done what several dads have tried to do. They've tried to insert themselves in the process and they failed miserably, but LeVar did it, y'all. Look, while he does it with yellow teeth, while he does it in his country accent, while he does it in a way that annoys all of us, LeVar is the dad of the year. LeVar even got Jello a G League contract. I know for a fact that right now, my 10-year-old could cross up Jello. Jello, sorry, y'all. And Jello is still in the NBA conversation. He had to play overseas. These boys were treated in countries in Eastern Europe as though they were Michael Jordan. LeVar Ball, big baller brand. He created a shoe, the Zo2s, that were ugly, God ugly, but almost sold off the shelves, and there was a back order for these shoes. LeVar Ball, y'all, is the dad of the year. And look, I'm one of those overbearing dads at basketball games yelling all kind of stuff, but I ain't got no brand for my sons yet. LeVar Ball is the example, and we need to honor him as such. Even if he's a country bumpkin, annoying, you know what? He's a country bumpkin, you know what, dad of the year. And that's what I gotta, we gotta give him props, man. He did what all dads tried to do. He did it in a way that was annoying, but Lord knows, how do you have 2 sons within, I think Lonzo was the number 2 pick?
Well, they have that because they have talent. They actually have athletic ability and talent. That's not taken away from him. But,
from their mom.
Yeah, because she was actually a good athlete.
Player,
so I just wondered, does LeVar mean lemon in Spanish? Because that would translate to them yellow ass teeth. I just suck on his teeth. I can't get past that. If I'm going to be all up in the camera and doing all that, you're not going to find the zit. Every damn eyebrow hair is going to be in place. I'm going to make sure my shit is correct. His kids already had the talent. Michael Jordan's dad, you ain't see his father doing all this crazy shit. It was a different era. But they let their children's talent speak for itself. I don't have to have a parade up and down the street to tout my children if they're doing what they're supposed to do on the court, on the field, anything else. He's not a shaboogie. He's a clown. He's a certified bozo.
Yeah, he's a clown.
The music. He got the yellow teeth, give him a big nose and some big ass clown shoes, those O2s or whatever. And there you have it.
But he knows what he is capable of doing. He knows that he's not going to put together some masterful spreadsheet and be the business consultant for them. So he's the best clown that he could be on behalf of his kids. I wouldn't play the role because, we built different. But I'm just saying, man, look, the Big Baller brand, I think, was a good concept. What I don't like, and let's get into this part of it. What I don't like is the fact that both boys have shunned it. Because while Puma has signed LaMelo for roughly $100 million and access to the private jet, Lonzo just indefinitely stepped away from Big Baller brand. This was over the last several weeks.
He's with
and is shopping for a deal.
He's with.
No, he left Rock Nation too.
Oh, he did?
Oh, damn.
He left Rock. Yeah,
I thought
he left Rock Nation
recently.
See,
about a few months ago, he already left. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Look, I don't think the school is beautiful, but it's a good concept.
Great concept, but Bobby, look at what the foundation he has laid. Now, the kids have the talent. The oldest son goes from him. There was already financial infighting with Big Baller Brand. So clearly somebody wasn't handling the money properly. The oldest son leaves, goes to Rock Nation, leaves after a few weeks. So he's already planted the seeds of discord and crazy in these kids. No one's going to build. They're going to be untouchable. People are not going to want to fuck with them. The insurance to touch them is going to be so high. No one wants to be bothered. He did that.
Have you guys ever seen the Facebook series Ball in the Family?
I watched it. I never watched it. Yeah, I watched it a couple times.
Actually, pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
They got a Facebook series. They had a brand. Look, LeVar's not who you want to have. Well, we shouldn't be having game night with anybody. But we don't want to have game night with LeVar because it'll be annoying. But I don't know, man. Look, I just think that from the concept of Big Baller Brand and doing it ourselves and being autonomous and independent of the big shoe brands, I think he was on to something. I just think that he was probably, from a character standpoint, the wrong person to get it across the finish line. But, man, he was on to something. And I just hate that his boys both just immediately like, nah, we're not down with that. Because while they're going to make $100 million from Puma, or at least LaMelo's going to make $100 million from Puma, Lonzo's probably going to make something, not maybe $100 million, but something similar from another brand, if not doing a brother deal with Puma. There's something to be said about leaving a legacy that transcends. Puma is going to exist beyond the Ball family, whereas Big Baller Brand is, at the essence, built on the Ball family. I think he was on to the right idea, and I think more of us, I'm talking about people of color, Black folk, need to be thinking in autonomous, independent terms, because when it's all said and done, we're fungible. All they're going to do when LaMelo is done with his career is find the next version of LaMelo, and that's who's going to get the Puma deal. Whereas Big Baller Brand was built for and built by a family, and I just think that he was on to something, and he was just annoying.
The name was fucking whack. Let's call it what it is. Big Baller Brand. That's some ghetto ass shit. Who the hell is going to sign with Big? He was going to get no more athletes aside from his son, bro. Don't act like that was a legacy type.
You're right. You
know what it is, bro? He needs to understand the difference between a producer and an executive producer. He needs to be the executive producer because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Right. I strongly believe, I'm sure he didn't have an MBA. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know anything about marketing. He couldn't to name it the Big Baller Brand. Come on, bro. Like, nah, come on.
Hey, man, they suggested the name. The Big Baller Brand was suggested by the Platinum Plan. So,
right.
Yes,
the Queen's Child Project.
By the same people who bought you the Platinum Plan.
Right.
Baller Brand.
That's what I was thinking. Look, I get it. I understand his love for his, the production behind it. But the thing is that sometimes you got to leave it to professionals. You can't.
Yes, exactly. Like I said, you executive producer. Leave it to the producer. Step back. If you got the money to put it up, put it up.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, and you have to have some sort of je ne sais quoi. You can't just that. Because it ain't for everybody. I know I'm not for everybody, so you won't see me on the 700 Club cussing out a preacher. That's not me. It's like, yo, I'll cuss you out. I don't care if you're a man of the cloth. So I have to do things or go to different avenues. But if someone were to approach me and say, hey, we like X, Y, and Z, you got to tweak something. We got to do this. We got to do that. We're going to hire someone to get you to what we think could take you to the next level. I ain't doing that. I'm buying fuck bitches, get money. Fuck that. No, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna sit back and say, how many zeros? Okay, good morning. Hi, this is Maya Singletary. How are you guys? You know?
Can I please be the executive producer of you on the 7? That would be comedy, boy.
Honey, I'm going there. Pat Robertson, he gonna stroke out right on the set because I'm gonna call him all sorts of white devils and shit. It's on the pop.
I can see you doing the collection plate. I can see you just calling people out like, you know, you got money. You know you got money. Give us some of that money. Look, man, we'll move on, but I think LeVar Ball is the gift that keeps giving. I think he was on to something. It's just that, like you said, he probably was the wrong one to be the producer. He should have sat back and let someone else do it.
Yes.
But the mere concept of let's have our own shoe brand.
That's a great concept.
Yeah.
Great concept.
Again, like I said, he should have been the executive producer. He didn't. No. That name just like, come on, man.
Trash. Just
Trash
like
name.
his teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Ellis, really quick. Ellis said that, yes, LeVar means Tavares. LeVar means Tavares in Spanish. I know that. I was just being an asshole. But yeah, they just so yellow. It's just L, lemon, LeVar. It's just all bad. It's just a whole lot of yellow brick roads that just don't need to exist.
Damn.
Sorry.
And he wasn't the only one with bad shoes, because y'all remember Dwayne Wade in his last few years, he had on some Bobos, cost $1.99. Everybody, but hey, respect Wade County. Wade County had some Bobos on the last few years. He got something from Wuhan or something in China.
Yeah, he did from China.
But remember, his first contract was with Converse, which was like, why you signing with Converse, which Nike ultimately ended up buying. But still, ain't nobody wearing no Chuck Taylors. They burn the bottom of your damn feet. They too flat.
Oh, woo, God.
You have calluses and burns and shit all over the bottom soles of your feet.
Look, I know that my man Ellis, and I'm going to give him the last word before we turn the page, because he has been in the development phase of brands. And he says there are two major reasons why Triple B failed. Yeah, that's right. That's the short name, Triple B. Triple B failed early. That had nothing to do with LeVar. If you aren't one of the 5 major sneaker companies, you can't get quality manufacturing. And Lonzo didn't live up to the hype out the gate.
Oh, he sure didn't.
Yeah.
That's two good points. Two good points.
This is why he has a Yale MBA. Well, if somebody needs to reach out to Lemon Mouth and tell him to hire someone with the credentials to help him. That nigga Sonny D all about. Pound cake mouth ass. That nigga mouth look like a pound cake.
No.
He said lemon mouth, pound cake mouth. These are like milestones in name calling right now.
If anybody knows LeVar and his pound cake mouth, if anybody knows him, call my man Ellis.
Oh my God.
Because even if the Ball brothers are on the Triple B brand, he might be able to resuscitate it with other players. We shall see. All right, NHL free agency and MLB free agency are going on right now, and they are on the top of our list.
Hold on. Did you say NHL free agency?
I know they're on our list. So who gets that?
I was just saying, put N/A. Keep it moving. I don't think anybody mention it.
Nobody on our spread real quick too.
Nobody on our spread is talking about. Damn, I'm wondering who's coming to the Islanders.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't look like us.
The last thing on who gives a damn list is the Ivy League has canceled its winter sports and they postponed spring sports. So they're the first to do that because of COVID. We'll see
they
if it
have
starts
brain cells. They realize our money is not generated from athletics, it's academics. We need people to graduate so they could go work at the Goldman Sachs of the world, so they can go and contribute to the alumni foundation and alumni funds and our endowments. That's what people with functioning brains do. They see things for the long haul, not for instant gratification. Father Jenkins of Notre Dame, but you know, but I just be calling people lemon heads and shit. So I'll get back
high school sports. If you need to ask why some of these high school players grow into monsters.
I'm sorry, but I just keep laughing about lemon mouth.
It is. I swear to God. Country time ass mouth. That nigga look like a pound cake mouth. You like, oh my God. Oh, country time lemonade mouth.
We might have found another endorsement for him, man. He might.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. That motherfucker get an Evans pound cake or a country time lemonade deal. I need a cut.
Jiffy cornbread. He get that Jiffy cornbread.
And that shit off, yo. Oh, cornbread mouth ass.
All right, quickly, because we ain't gonna stay on them very long. We gotta get to politics. We're gonna come around the corner with this. High school sports on national television. If you wonder why players end up being complete savages in terms of their egos, just being too big for any room that they are in, high school sports is on national television. We talked last Friday. That night, it was the St. Thomas Aquinas, the Greater Fort Lauderdale, Florida area. We beat American Heritage, and that was on national television. But last night, there was a basketball game that featured Imani Bates, the #1 player from 2022, and Chet Holmgren, who's a 7'1", 195-pound guard forward. They played a basketball game last night. Chet Holmgren's AAU team, Team Sizzle, played Imani Bates' YPSI Academy team, and the ratings were out the roof. Imani Bates scored 36. This 7'1", 195-pound guy Chet Holmgren scored.
That dude is a twig. A strong Westie wind will blow his ass down the block.
He look about 170 pounds.
Bro, but hold him down and force feed him some pancakes and bacon.
Pancake mouth.
You know what I'm saying? Like just
31. But he scored. His credit. He scored 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 blocks. Nice. It was a great game. I think Chet Holmgren's team won 77-71. But I think it just shows just how we've now commercialized sports all the way down to high school level. And it's creeping into youth sports as well. And so I think we have to balance the exposure we give these kids with making sure that there's some overall development so kids don't get too full of themselves. Because a guy like that's been on national television countless times before he even steps foot on a college campus.
Bobby, this goes to show the esports don't give two shits about these kids. Because if they did, it is a pandemic. What point don't you get about people dying? You don't give two shits about, you literally see these human beings as cash cows. This is why we're going to be stuck in the house for another fucking year. I don't care how many vaccines Pfizer comes out with over the next, I don't care how many months. We are too selfish as a society, and this is why the father of your child acted the way he did. People are inherently selfish, and being selfish is the reason why we as a society will never get anywhere. You have rewarded bad behavior. This is what, there's no reason I should know about some damn 7-foot-tall high school boy or whatever playing basketball.
And he's a household name. And look, even worse, the dad, Imani Bates' dad, started this academy, YPSI Prep Academy, after letting him play in high school, normal high school basketball for 2 years. He started a prep academy. They've recruited a whole team. If you look at YPSI
crazy
Prep Academy, go on their website. The first thing you see is a basketball team. It's online learning for basketball, and man, it's becoming professional basketball at an early age. So don't be shocked if Imani Bates doesn't become this mannerable young man when the whole world's been kissing his butt since he was 12 years old.
God forbid it doesn't get COVID and it doesn't take him out. This shit is for real. And like I said, this just goes to show you what it doesn't make sense. Are you serious? A kid, he probably hasn't even had a hard on yet, and he's getting all this notoriety.
No, he had one of those. He didn't have plenty of them. I don't know what he did with it, but he had one.
Bobby, it probably almost killed him as he is. Probably ejaculated half his fucking body weight. All I'm saying is this is why we will never get ahead as a country. COVID isn't going anywhere. And you're just, like I said, that's negative reinforcement. You're congratulating and rewarding bad behavior. We should not be seeing these fucking kids play basketball on TV. There's no such thing as social distancing. And if I'm the point guard, so I'm going to make sure my teammate is 6 feet away from me, that shit don't happen.
No,
and they played. Hold on. And, my thing is this: like, the NBA, they had a bubble and they tested every day. They had the means to actually make this happen. These high school basketball teams don't have that. That's crazy.
No, they played. And to go further, and I'll say this, and we'll move on because we got to get to the presidential election. We'll close there. But they played indoors, and not a single person had on a mask.
Damn.
So, all right, look. We had an election, y'all, a presidential election, and today's episode is called "Losing Is the New Winning," and it was inspired by none other than Maya's president, 45.
Hit the road, Jack.
Hey,
No more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come
back no more. That's right. Take your orange bloated losing turkey neck, trying to sue every state that you got your ass on. Get your orange fake tan, greasy, fat, dry Diet Coke drinking, McDonald's hamburger eating piece of shit ass and get the entire fuck on. Stop trying to raise funds because you got lawsuits up the fucking wazoo. Tell your 70 million plus followers to go fuck themselves too. I only acknowledge one president, and that's President-elect Joseph R. Biden Jr. and VP, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. Suck on that, you orange magnet.
The interesting thing is, among other things, so many interesting things here. Let's pull back the layers. 45 was on the golf course, ironically, when the news was broken on Saturday. And I hope he's got all his tee times ready because he will have a lot of available time on his hands starting January. But look, it does show not only was 70 million people so naive enough to go in there and vote for him, but a lot of those 70 million people are naive enough to really believe that there was something rigged with the election. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency said this is the most secure election in American history. But why would any of his believers believe that? And that's why I said losing is the new winning, because even in a loss, there are people that are really drinking the Kool-Aid. People that you thought were rational coworkers, neighbors, friends. You thought at one point they were rational. They've shown otherwise over the last 4 years. But they're going to follow this man right down the rabbit hole. There have been more leaders from other countries that have called our president-elect and congratulated him than Republican sitting GOP senators. And if you think about that, in addition to his whole constituency that is going out on a limb and saying that people cheated because of an election result, the election results did not favor what they wanted it to. Arizona flipped, Wisconsin flipped, Georgia's going to flip, Pennsylvania, all of these states flip, yet they are believing that something was rigged with the election, despite this agency saying the most secure election in American history. I'm starting to think, y'all, that maybe, man, there's been something in the oxygen. There's something not connecting that's rational. How do people say that when everything points to not only was it a fair election, but the safest one that we've ever had.
Like I said, when you applaud mediocrity and stupidity, this is what happens. The funny thing about it is that he's talking about, oh, it's rigged, the game is rigged or whatever. He planted those seeds of doubt because he knew Joe Biden was going to be the only person that could beat him. And in addition to that, no one called and said the game was rigged when you beat Hillary. Oh, getting back to the trifecta. Okay, so this is why I said relief in the trifecta. He's always number one in something. He is the only person to A, lose the popular vote, B, be a one-term sitting president, and 3, be impeached. He is a literal trifecta. He hits all the fucking worthless boxes. You're an incumbent that lost, you lost the popular vote, and you were impeached. So basically, you are a fat, losing, bloated son of a bitch. And the scary thing about it is he's just like roaches and Pop-Tarts. He will fucking survive a nuclear blast.
Yep.
He will live forever.
So where do we go from here? Because my girl Tanya says 70 million Kanye's. On that game night, when game nights are back, do you take on your stage partner that you found out was a Trump supporter over the last several months? Do you take them back into the family reunion?
No, absolutely not.
Are they invited to the crab?
No,
the crab party.
No. I fired my trainer. Remember, I'll call him out.
Don't call him out. Don't call him.
Dickhead Ruffin. First of all, he ain't registered. And then he was like, if I was registered, you're a 27-year-old man that ain't registered to vote. Really? But you got them new Jordans. You got them. Okay, I see what your priorities are. And he's the same person that said Black people have a quote unquote victim mentality. But you know something? You call Black people victims, but this Black victim that is sitting here talking was the same person that made sure that your ass was getting paid when the gym that you work for closed down and said, you can't make no money outside of here. Remember the Black victim that made sure your fucking rent was paid every month. Damn. Okay, so let's not fucking go there. You decided you over everything, being pulled over by the police, me fighting with the police for you. You had the nerve to have that shit come out of your mouth. Fuck you and everything you stand for, my nigga. You ain't invited to shit. I tell you one thing, if you fucking die, somebody give me a plate of asparagus so I could piss on this nigga.
So Maya obviously is not inviting people back to the cookout. Superhero DJ John Quick. I think over the last several months, man, we found out a lot about a lot of people, and we saw it was highlighted by Kanye West and Lil Wayne and Lil Pump and 50 at one point. It was
Who's this Lil Pump person?
Lil Pump is this Generation Z. I don't know.
Okay.
Ice Cube at one point, and you know his contract with Black America by way of the Platinum Plan. We found out a lot about a lot of people, and so now it's time because 45 is not going to concede. Why would he? It's just like the player that I had. Watch how this comes full circle. And his dad took him to the car after a loss, and they tried to scurry off because they didn't want to deal with the reality that we just lost. And so I think that's the same thing that 45 is going to do. He wants to scurry off into his car and not admit that we lost. And he's got 70 million plus people who voted for him. Not all of them are falling prey to this shenanigans. Some of them
but they are racist. Well, when you let that rhetoric, that's what it is.
Yeah, tolerant of racism, absolutely. So he's not going to concede. What are we going to do with our vote? Because a lot of those people, some of my teammates, they jumped out the window for this guy, and I'm like, how can you support a flat out racist, man? Like, what do we do? Because there's a lot of Black men. It was shown a lot of Black men that follow the Little Pumps of the world, or maybe not Little Pump. They follow the Kanye's of the world, and those Black men now, Superhero DJ John Quick, are they welcome back? What do we say to them? What's the next step for us?
That's it. No. Next question.
Dead in the water.
That's it.
Wait, let the white women, the largest voting bloc for Donald Trump, hold them close to their hearts. How about that? Ask the Karens and the Sarahs, tell them to love up on them. How about that? Because this Maya, this black girl, can't give two shits about you. Fuck you and all you think you stand for. Because you ain't shit. Your mindset is shit. And anyone who supports you is shit. So fuck you. Bye.
I learned. Look, those are some strong words. And ones that I love. So we're gonna let it go there. There is a UFC, I don't know what number. Is this Saturday? You got Paul Felder versus Rafael Dos Anjos. Normally we got Cheeky Black on here, but I think he's in Facebook jail. My man True Food Jordan, you are our resident UFC specialist, but I think you're on here. So
but why are you even promoting this? Dana White is one of the biggest Donald Trump supporters. Why are we sending letting people know that there's an event so he could go, they could watch it and he can make more money?
Finish it.
UFC.
Hey man, UFC this it's entertainment.
I don't need to be entertained by somebody who supports that fucking orange maggot.
Yeah, I agree. Look, we are about to get out of here. It's the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with your boy B Brown ESQ, aka the Ball Hawk, aka the Mountain South, aka Mr. Accepted Celebration. I'm here with the Maverick herself, Miss Majestic Maya, who has never, ever, ever been willing to hold her opinion to herself, and that's why she's the Maverick. And we have the maestro, superhero DJ John Quick in the building. Cutting the ones and twos. We out, y'all. It's the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. Catch us next week. Peace. Oh, I forgot. Please comment. Please like.
Wait. I got to send a special shout out to all my Marshall University alumni and students. You know, this is a 50-year anniversary of the plane crash.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, that plane crash, occurred in the 70s, in 1970 actually. And now, it got to a point where in the 90s, we were actually the most winningest football program in America. So, that's just
nice.
a story of, triumphing over, obstacles, in your life and things of that nature. So big shout out to Marshall University, number 16 in the country this week.
Yeah. Look, there's a positive slant to our episode title, Losing is the New Winning, and to see people rise from the ashes. Marshall University has certainly done that. And God bless to all the people that were impacted at that university. And beyond it being Rand University, Marshall is indeed on the map, y'all.
No doubt.
We out, y'all. Y'all enjoy it. Please like, please share. It'll cost you 3 seconds. Please comment, please like, please share. See y'all next Friday. Peace.
Peace.